Coming up in this video, I take pictures like this. We talk about how stupid some people can be. And moreover, I want to discuss with you guys this picture that I recently posted on Instagram that did pretty well. Welcome to this week's vlog. Let me briefly explain to you why it's a bit of a mixed bag this week. I went to shoot some crashing waves down at New Brighton Lighthouse or Perch Rock with my good friend Mally during Storm Ciara, which I think was around about 3 weeks ago now. And I've ended up with some fairly decent pictures, but I didn't take enough film footage, certainly enough B-roll, for various reasons. So now I'm stuck with nice pictures, not much B-roll. I had a great time with Mally, and basically it would be a shame to waste that trip. So let me explain briefly what happened. Holding his head in shame. I turned up on day one. We knew we were going to be there for 2 days. I turned up on day one, and surprisingly, rushing out the house like a mad fool, I got a phone call quite literally 10 minutes away from meeting up with Mally. Now bear in mind that's an hour's drive for me. The wife said, "I'm not sure where you are, but you better turn around, you've left your camera. You've left your camera bag. You've left all your camera equipment." Now, it's a bit of an odd admission when this is what you do for a living, and that's never happened to me before. Anyway, suffice to say, me being me, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not turning around. I'm just going to go and have a good afternoon and help Mally the best I could. So if you watch Mally's video, by the way, in case you're wondering why his B-roll is so good, so now you know. Anyway, long story short, the wife drove down to me, bless her, and she brought my camera gear down with me, and I still took some amazing shots on day one. But day two, but I didn't take any video, by the way. On day two, it was one of the highest tides of the year, and of course with the storm greatly intensifying that day, it meant that day two was going to be much more productive for us as photographers than day one, so that was fine by me. So I then turned up with my video camera, tried to capture as much as I possibly could, and then I lost my video camera. Don't ask me why. I was taking some B-roll, and for some unknown reason I lost my video camera, so I was absolutely gutted. That video camera, as much as it's completely knackered, has been my video camera since day one of me actually started vlogging. And then out of the blue, this most amazing man who found my camera, looked at the video, thought the video might be important to someone, then did a search on social media and YouTube, and eventually ended up finding me. And he emailed me. Anyway, long story short, I went down and embraced the man for being so honest and all the rest of it, and you know, thank you very much indeed. What a superb fella. I got my video camera back, that's the long and short of it, but there's not enough video footage on there of the day to create a vlog, so hence the reason I'm waffling, really just to pan it out just to pan it out a bit. But anyway, I'm here, I'm super proud of the pictures, but there's something that I want to discuss with you after I show you my pictures, because I created, or when I was going through my pictures looking for an image to post on Instagram, I didn't think anything really blew me away. They were good, but I thought, I know I can improve on some of these pictures. So I just randomly chose one picture, then I took snippets and bits of waves from another picture, and I created then one picture. I didn't say anything, I posted it, and over 1,000 likes in 24 hours. I was quite impressed by that. But it just goes to show, if I can do that, who else is doing that? So the question is composite photography right? Is composite photography just art and who gives a hoot? Should I have told people it was a composite picture? Or should I just have posted the image like I did and not bothered mentioning it in the first place? But if I'm doing that with my pictures, who else is doing that with their pictures? So that's an interesting tale. If you like the picture, I'll very quickly break it down and show you how I created the picture. But if you like the picture, if you leave a comment below, then I'll make a video on how I actually post-processed the image. It's fairly straightforward, but I suppose it's not straightforward if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm happy to create a video, a separate video, if you're interested in that. But there you go. That's this week's video. All over the place. This guy's in the water.
What the f***?
With swimming trunks on. Hang on.
They've got out.
They're never going in.
I think they've been in.
Yeah, they've been in. They're not going to go on the other side, are they? That's ridiculous. Oh, the waves are smashing up there.
They're getting dressed now. Oh, I didn't even see him. That's crazy.
I just had to interrupt that that introduction to my video there because, well, just to give you an insight into what's going on today, we're in the middle of the storm Ciara, Sierra, whatever it's called. Anyway, we're in the middle of that storm, and at New Brighton Lighthouse, otherwise known as Perch Rock, and we've come down here to photograph the crashing waves against the lighthouse, but also we want to storytell with our photography as well. So we're going to try and capture some bits and pieces that are going on, I suppose, in and around the area. I'll be capturing some close-ups of, fingers crossed, some really nice waves and curlers. That's the plan of action, and if I can, I'll talk you through the process that I use to capture, I suppose, waves, really, crashing waves. And that's it. And I'm also going to introduce you to Mally. I'm sure most of you guys who follow my channel will already know Mally, but I'll be shooting with Mally all day today. That's Mally across there. Hang on, pop on your face there.
I'll do.
Yeah, focus on you now. So it's not really a tutorial, but I'll try and capture as much of the day as I possibly can, just so you guys can see sometimes the heartache that we have to go through. But today, it's probably the highest tide of the year. It's the middle of the day, the light is looking perfect, and the waves are smashing and crashing against the lighthouse as we speak. There's a lot of breakwater around, so we're not going to get the classic waves smashing from behind the lighthouse, going over the lighthouse, the sort of shots that you'd like to get, because we came here yesterday to do a recce and it was nothing like that. But it was still very, very interesting and pretty cool thing to shoot. So that's it. Right, okay, like I say, I'm doing the introduction into the van, or in the van, because it's flaming horrendous outside. Let me give you a bit of a feel for what it's like. Are you ready? Let's open this van door. Hang on. It'll be calm as anything now, watch. There you go. Not sure if you can see that and hear that, but that wind is blowing a hoolie. The background is what we're off to photograph. So fingers crossed for a good day. Just to give you a quick timeline, high tide is 12:30 and it's 11 o'clock. but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get the better shots at high tide. I'll give you an example. When Mally and I were here yesterday, a long story, but I turned up without my camera, so I was just basically being a lackey for Mally. But look at the shots that Mally took. I'm going to put these images up now, and some of them are quite shocking how dumb and stupid some people are. But in terms of storytelling, Mally's absolutely nailed these pictures on the head. Take a look at these shots. So it's relatively straightforward. This is my original image that I took, and the only work that's been done on this is in ACR when I moved my raw file into Photoshop. So this is pretty much an untouched image, but as you can see from here, there's not a great deal of drama going on in this area. Now this is the perspective that I preferred because it was a cleaner perspective, looking straight onto the lighthouse with no distracting features in the background, but the waves just wasn't really lashing up here where I would have preferred. The wind was also coming from this direction, so clearly I wasn't going to get that classic shot of the wave smacking the back of the lighthouse and protruding forward. That was never going to happen. So all I did is I took my base image. From another image, I simply lifted, as you can see there, quite a dramatic looking wave. I just simply copy and pasted it in there. I cut it out, copy and pasted it. It's as raw as you like. That's really what it is. Then from this picture here, I simply lifted that up. So as you can see from that picture there, with that wave smashing against the wall, I simply moved it to there. And again, that's how crude it is. Now there's one thing to mention before I go on. When you post-process your work, if you want to save an awful lot of time, just remember one thing. Only you will ever see the before and after. Obviously, unless you're doing this, of course. But only you will ever see the before and after. So you don't need to be too anal to make it realistic. But obviously, you still have to strive to make it realistic. Hence the reason I chose the wave moving from the left to the right. Then to make it look a bit more realistic, because obviously it didn't fit in very well here, well, that's easily solved, because I then added another wave from another picture into that area there. And then to blend it together, I just simply copy and pasted that small bit of wave area there, just so you couldn't see the join really in the elements below it. And then I just use a smudge tool just to get some wave action and some splashes going on up here. You can't see it here, but in this layer I simply removed a bit of noise that was happening in the sky. And I cleaned the image up ever so slightly. I think there's some small marks over here that I cleaned up, and that was it. Then I tried a few different effects, because I knew I was going to throw this image into Instagram. So I did the old Instagram thing, and I tried a few different effects. Nice and grungy, nice and bleachy, and I quite like that effect, but I didn't go for it in the end. Then I threw it into Silver Effects Pro, and I converted it to black and white using their algorithms, which is okay. I quite like that. Then I added a bit of softness to it. Again, I didn't like that, but I had a bit of a play. Then I converted it myself to black and white, which I really liked. I converted that myself, and I made that quite contrasty looking. And eventually I stuck with the original. I uploaded it to Instagram, and as you can see here, it got just over 1,000 likes within 24 hours. Do me a favour, let me know in the comments below if you think that maybe my approach to posting a composite image on Instagram was the right thing to do. Maybe I should have been honest, but leave the comments below. I mean, ultimately, aren't most of the images on Instagram fake and false, or have I got it wrong? But to finalise, I just want to say a massive thank you to Mally. Mally, eventually we did it, pal. We did it. About 3 or 4 attempts to do a vlog with Mally, but eventually, by hook or crook, we managed to get a vlog together. Now, I'm sure most of you guys know of Mally who follow me, but if you don't, I'll leave a link to his description, or it'll pop up at the end of this video. Please click on it and watch some of his videos, because he is the very essence of what vlogging is all about. It's more about the character behind the camera than it is about the work that is being produced. That said, I made that sound like Mally doesn't take good pictures. Mally is an excellent photographer as well. So all in all, he's a fantastic vlogger and a great personality. So please check him out. Cheers.